Hi everyone, I'm Jackie from Exam Prep Spain, and today I'm going to cover the speaking type 1 on the TOEFL exam, the independent speaking. So let's just get right into it, shall we? Okay, so basically for speaking type 1 of the TOEFL, it's called the independent paired choice speaking. So in this speaking, you're going to be asked to give your opinion about a familiar topic, and you'll basically need to give reasons that support your response and give examples for each of those reasons. So you have 15 seconds to prepare and 45 seconds to respond for this question. There are no redos, which means that once you speak, it's forever recorded and you will not be able to record again. Okay. And also the TOEFL, it's totally on the computer. It's the TOEFL IBT, internet-based test, which means that all your responses are recorded. You do not speak directly to a human being. You only speak to the computer. Okay, so let's look at a classic question of speaking type 1, which is here. Do you prefer to be in a large class or a small class? Use reasons and details to support your response. So for this one, after the response is read, you will have 15 seconds to prepare what you want to say and then 45 seconds to respond. All amazing TOEFL independent speakings should have the following construction, which is 1, an introduction, then a supporting point, your first supporting point, an example that helps to support supporting point 1, then you'll transition into supporting point 2, and then you'll give an example for supporting type 2. If you have time, you can provide a conclusion. Conclusions are not mandatory. It's if you have extra time in your total 45 seconds. Okay, so going back to our question, do you prefer to be in a large class or a small class? Use reasons and details to support your response. An amazing introduction would be short, concise, less than 8 seconds, say. So simple. I personally prefer to be in a small class for the following reasons, because you're going to set up 2 amazing reasons. Okay, so let's go into supporting reason 1. First of all, in a small class, it's easier to build rapport with the professor. Oh, interesting. Great reason. So as you can see, the supporting ideas are direct and concise. They should be short, easy to express. It's really in the examples that you'll be able to highlight your English. So let's look at a sample example. For example, last year in my psychology course, there were only 11 students. Thanks to the small class size, the professor knew each of our names and would call on us by name to answer questions. It was great. I felt the professor really got to know me and I was able to ask questions to him, and this further developed our student-teacher relationship. So a great example probably took me around 12 seconds to say, and it's really supporting my first reason. So yes, you can really highlight your knowledge of English, use different verb tenses, idioms, phrasal verbs, and amazing connectors. I'll get to why that's important after we finish the structure. So after I've given my supporting reason 1, I always want to go into reason 2. Furthermore, in a small class size, it is more interactive and engaging. Again, the second reason is short and to the point. And then in the example, I'm going to really elaborate and show my English level. Okay, so, going back to last year's psychology class, since there were only 11 of us, all the students got to participate. Indeed, we would ask questions and bounce ideas off each other. In the past, when I attended larger classes, it was difficult to get a word in. The professor would mainly lecture and no one interacted. A great detailed example with great verb tenses, phrasal verbs, connectors, really supporting the second idea. And then finally, if you have time, a very short conclusion. In summary, I definitely prefer smaller classes to larger classes. Okay, isn't that so amazing, that structure? So in summary, the structure always is introduction, short, concise, under 10 seconds, ideally like under 8 seconds. reason one, example one, reason two, example two. If you have time, conclusion. Okay. There are many different types of independent paired choice speakings that could come up. In fact, there's 5 different subcategories. Remember, you only have one of these questions, but you could have agree or disagree. You could have preference, which is do you prefer this or that? You always have 2 choices for all of them. You could also have description or explanation. There's also if we're imaginary type questions. And final subtype is advantage or disadvantage. So you would have one of the 5 subcategories that will appear on your exam. A lot of students like to say that 15 seconds isn't enough time to prepare. It really is just a matter of practice because remember, chance favors the prepared mind. So the more you practice, go over the speakings, think of ideas that you want to say, examples that you would say, the better your independent speakings will be. Okay, so also let's just take a final look before we leave of the independent speaking rubrics. Okay, so this is the rubric for the TOEFL of what you're scored on. So it ranges from 0 to 4, and then that 4 translate into the overall 30-point score. And you're graded on delivery, which is how well-paced your expression is, or how well-paced your speech is. So you definitely don't want to have like buts, like too many times in your speech. Of course, a couple times it's fine and normal, but more than that, you will get points docked from your delivery score. Next is language use. Language use shows like effective use of grammar and vocabulary and shows a high degree of automaticity with good control of basic and complex structures. So here you can really show different verb tenses. You want to use complex structures, maybe throw in some phrasal verbs. You see, throw in phrasal verbs. And also some idioms you could use here, and that can really show your language use and level. And finally, your topic development, which is that one, you're actually responding to the question at hand, that you've understood it and are responding to it. But it's also that you can connect ideas well, which is why we recommend the structure of reason one, example one, reason two, example two. It will really help your topic development score. Okay, so now I'm gonna put a question on the screen with a timer. You can practice.
Do you think bicycles will still be widely used in the future or replaced by other means of transportation? Begin to prepare your response now. And begin speaking after the beep. 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 Speaking over. Okay, and now let's listen to a sample response of 4. In my view, bicycles will become obsolete due to various reasons. First, there is an emergence of other means of transportation. For instance, many people either own scooters or, thanks to ride sharing applications, can easily rent scoots whenever they need them. Secondly, bicycles are dangerous. In fact, more and more news stories reveal the devastating effects of bike crashes. Moreover, studies show how childhood crashes have lasting consequences later in life. For these reasons, I believe that bicycles will not be around in the next few years. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this little mini video series on the TOEFL Independent Speaking. This is speaking type 1 on the TOEFL exam. And I hope, yes, that it's helped you. If you have any questions or you want to download our TOEFL tip guide, look at the information below in the comments and visit our website and follow us on Instagram. It's been a pleasure to do this video with you, and I hope that it has served you. Thank you, and until next time, bye.